got one that can see.
Logic before authority.
There's so many of them that all point out to the date of September the 23rd for the event. So various movies, there's so many of them. And here's some of them.
On the 23rd day of the month of September, in an early year of a decade not too long before our own, the human race suddenly encountered a deadly threat to its very existence. And this terrifying enemy surfaced, as such enemies often do, in the seemingly most innocent and unlikely of places.
Alright, so let's recap and take a look at what's going on here. In the beginning, there's this real creepy message about September 23rd and something coming to destroy the human race. Then, right after that, is this weird image in the sky. I want to focus on that image for a moment. If you look closely, there appears to be a female figure in this image. And I'm going to kind of outline it for you right here. If we take a look, just right in this area here, it appears to be, well, to me, a female image. So I Googled images of the constellation Virgo and found the artist's impression of Virgo that would have been around in 1986 and found this picture. Rotating the image, I found that it fit into this frame of the film. Okay, you may say that's a stretch, and I would probably agree if it weren't for the fact that the Revelation 12 prophecy, as presumed by many, will be fulfilled on September 23rd of this year. Take a look at the next creepy thing. Near the end of the intro song and dance, we see the shop owner reading a newspaper. No big deal, right? Except the headline is bizarre. It reads, "Unexpected Total Eclipse." There are no such things as an unexpected eclipse. NASA tells us exactly when and where they will occur. Even the ancient astronomers knew when to expect an eclipse. Now, if you are a student of the Bible, You know there was an eclipse during the crucifixion of our Lord Jesus, and it lasted for 3 hours. It reads unexpected total eclipse. There are no such things as an unexpected eclipse.
Fool me once, fool me once.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you, say. Thank you, say. Thank you, say. Thank you, say.
Now we'll go over the comet. Now we'll go over the comet Nishimura that was just discovered on 8/11 by Hideo Nishimura. And Hideo means excellent male child. And Nishimura means to go west. And as you can see right here, it says the comet is falling toward the sun for a close encounter on September 13th. And I'm going to go over that with you real quick. It's gigantinormous. And this picture was taken yesterday, and they're saying that they found that it has grown a 1 degree long tail. And it looks long. And it also says, and get this, since it was discovered on August 11th, the comet Nishimura has more than tripled in brightness. And it literally says a sign that is feeling the heat of the approaching sun. And the signs will be in the sun, family. And they are. And it says its green head now shines like an 8th magnitude star. And it looks green to me, and green means go. But here's what's gigantinormous. As you might guess, comets can change color as they get closer or further from the sun. Comets change color. Now, real quick, the Revelation 12 sign. Revelation 12, verse 1, we got the woman clothed with the sun. The moon's under her feet. With Yeshua and Miriam and Leah Marie and Laban and Israel and the wise men Caspar and the comet Hideo Nishimura. And they all stand for birth, family. And the crown of 12 stars is there. There's 12 Virginie stars on her head. And the 12 stars obviously represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 2, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. And the child is there, right next to the United Nations. And the United Nations represent the dragon. But I just realized it's not the dragon. And remember, 666 represents the beast, and it's right next to the asteroid Israel. So if the United Nations isn't the dragon and it's just representing the dragon, then where's the dragon? Well, first off, remember, the enemy, he's a copycat, a counterfeit. When the rapture happens and the 7-year tribulation starts after the tribulation that we're in right now, then the enemy jumps on the scene and says that he's God. The copycat, the counterfeit. So as I'm looking at this sign, while I was editing yesterday's video, it hit me. Why is there an asteroid named Child and a comet that was discovered by Hideo that means male child? So I was wondering why there's 2 children in the picture. And this looks like what we've all been waiting for, verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered to devour her child as soon as it was born. And when you go to English Standard Version, verse 4 says, his tail swept down 1/3 of the stars of heaven and cast them to the earth. So I went into Stellarium and I zoomed in and I started going through the days. And right there you can see the comet actually starts growing and getting bigger. And you can see the dot very clearly right in the scope. And as it goes through what they call the sickle, the backwards question mark, the head of what they call Leo, the lion, you can see the tail growing and it getting bigger. And when you get to September 13th and you start going through the hours, you can literally see this comet dodging every star, every asteroid, and it's whipping its tail around, as you can see. And when it gets to the star right here, which is the tail of the lion right there, you could see it's the star Denebola. And I'll zoom in some more so you could see how big this tail is. And remember, no one can limit God. and I just showed you that comets change color. So this comet can turn red, and it can be the great red dragon in Revelation 12, and it looks like it is, family. I'll show you right now. As you go through the hours, let me back it up a little bit so you can see that the tail starts swinging and it starts flying sideways, this comet, as it goes by the tail of what they call the lion, Leo. It literally swipes the star with its tail. And I'll go through the minutes and show you. And that's on September 14th. So keep your heads up and expect something big to happen on September 14th. It's right there written in the stars, family. And as you keep going, you can see it straightens back out. And I'll zoom back out for you. When you get to the 15th, and I'll zoom out, you could see it's already past the woman's crown. And remember, it's flying at like light speed. And if you look at the direct path, it's headed directly for the asteroid Child. And the dragon stood before the woman to devour the child as soon as it was born. And remember, the asteroid Child crosses the line and comes out of her womb, it looks like, on 9/15. The expected Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah date. And again, this comet is headed directly for the asteroid Child. As you go through the days, you could see it heading straight for Child. A direct line straight to Child. And here's where it gets extremely gigantinormous. Because verse 4, his tail drew the third part of the stars and did cast them to the earth, is exactly what it looks like happens right here, family. As you go through the days, you could see it busts a left, goes into the woman and out of the woman. And I'll back that up. And I'll zoom in. So you could see the blue and yellow tail. And I'll go through the hours, and you could see that this comet is dodging all the stars, and it's whipping its tail all the way around, missing everything. Remember, it goes into the box of the woman on the 20th. Right there. And as you go through the hours, it's still whipping its tail and missing everything. Barely missed that asteroid. And remember, on the 22nd is when it goes past the line, out of the woman, and it's spinning in a circle, whipping its tail, swinging its tail. And as soon as it crosses that line,
So my response then continues to be what I believe today, which is Russia's actions are a problem. They don't pose the #1 national security threat to the United States. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan. Continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan.
In a 1990 Playboy interview, Trump is quoted as saying, "I think of the future, but I refuse to paint it. Anything can happen, but I often think of nuclear war. I've always thought about the issue of nuclear war. It's a very important element in my thought process. It's the ultimate catastrophe, the biggest problem this world has. And nobody's focusing on the nuts and bolts of it. It's a little like sickness. People don't believe they're going to get sick until they do. Nobody wants to talk about it. I believe the greatest of all stupidities is people believing it will never happen, because everybody knows how destructive it will be, so nobody uses weapons. What bullshit."
Of course, as much as Trump loves rallies, he's got a new way to communicate with you, because this afternoon at 2:18 p.m. Eastern Time, Americans nationwide received an alert on their cell phones from President Trump. Why? Is there really an emergency so big that everyone in America, people in Hawaii, Florida, Maine, New Mexico, have to hear about it at the exact same time? What is that big? Is it the death asteroid? Is it Thanos? If it's Thanos, please, no spoilers. Turns out the alert was the first test of a national presidential alert system that could warn Americans about a missile launched by another country or a tsunami. Look, if there's a tsunami, Trump is the last person I want to get a text from. Huge wave, very wet in terms of water. I'll be there with paper towel soon. Raindrop emoji, umbrella emoji, dancing sisters emoji, white Santa emoji. Apparently, this test has been in the works for a while. It was delayed from September 20th in order to avoid confusion during Hurricane Florence. That means that today, 2:18 p.m. on October 3rd, 2018, they thought things were just fine enough that they could test an emergency alert. So you know that gnawing sense of dread that something is terribly wrong at all times? That now passes for okay. But here's the truly frightening thing about this system. Unlike Amber and weather alerts, the presidential alert cannot be turned off. But that's not true for all phones, okay? After some backlash, Apple has released a workaround, and I'll show you how to block the presidential... I left my phone over here. Sorry, 1 second, let's go over here. I'll show you. Okay, so if you have... anybody have an iPhone here? Yeah. iPhone? Okay. If you have an iPhone, just make sure your software is up to date. Okay, open up your control settings and then go to Control Center. You want to touch Customize Controls and then obviously, I'm joking. Okay, what you want to actually do is restart your phone, and then while it's loading, hold down the home button and volume up, and then...
Severis, Captain.
Rodrigo. Peace are over.
Paratas, Captain.
Para. New para.
There is another matter, one that I'm reluctant to.
Please.
One of our submarines, an Alpha, was last reported in the area of the Grand Banks. We've not heard from her for some time.
Andre. You've lost another submarine?
Torpedo impact now, 40 seconds. 35 seconds. "30 seconds.
Turn it massive in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Torpedo impact, 25 seconds.
The turn, Captain.
Not yet.
Mark plus 8 seconds, plus 9, plus 10 seconds, plus 11, plus 12, plus 13 seconds, plus 14, plus 15 seconds. Captain, if we're out of position by so much as a boat length.
Torpedo impact now, 15 seconds.
Sound collision.
Sound collision. Captain, we're out of the lane.
You're relieved.
Borodin.
Right full rudder. Reverse starboard engine.
Right full rudder, hold back starboard shaft. Hold back starboard shaft. Torpedo impact. 12 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Navigator. Mark your heading. Set off in the bottom. See if you can drive.
I'm showing you that Philly is laid out in the image of Orion's belt. You can see the four corners that I'm pointing out that are parks and also a roundabout. And you'll see three buildings in the middle right there that are tall skyscrapers with pyramids on top of them, just like in Giza. I'm going to take you in and we'll take a closer look at those buildings now. So now let's take a look at the parks that are in each four corners and that roundabout. And let's see if there's any signs that these are showing that they are stars. Now you can see there's a circle in this one. You can see the outline of a circle, and in the middle I'm sure there's a fountain or something that looks like a star, but you can't see it very well for the trees. Now let's go ahead and go to the next one and take a look at it. This is Washington Square, and starting to look like a star. We'll zoom in here in a second, take a look a little closer. Or maybe not, but we'll go to the next one and you can really see the star. Here in Franklin Square, you can see that it's symbolizing a star with this one very easily. As you can see, it's roundabout, and it has a pool in the middle of it with fountains, and clearly is symbolizing a star. There you go. Water. The stars are above, or in the water. The water's above, and they know it. Let's go over and take a look at the last one, which is the roundabout. And I want you to notice too that there's a freeway that runs kind of parallel to those, well, runs through the roundabout and runs out to a museum that is symbolized by horns, which is symbolism of the goat or Taurus, but I think it's the goat. You can see that as a star there, obviously. The path of the green dragon or green comet crosses right over Orion's belt. Hits all three stars as it passes. Over to the upper left, you'll see the museums that are symbolized as having horns.
There is one new tornado warning for North Carolina.
Sorry, that's what's going on right now, right here where I'm at. I'm in the middle of a hurricane doing this. There's Orion's belt, just like we talked about.
excitable, emotional, prone to fantasy.
There's nothing wrong with me.
One pill makes you larger, one pill makes you small.
You've been gone too long, Alice. And do mind your step.
And you know you're going to fall, Alice.
What's the matter? The Hatter's the matter. The Hatter's my truest friend. If he's in need, I will help him. It will be a race against time. He is not someone you want as your enemy. Time is a he.
Wonderland. Your time is up. We're stuck us all at 1 minute to tea time. Tea time! Forever!
Hello, Alice.
I see.
Talk. Your time.
Hold on, everyone. I don't want to hold on.
Oh, Dinah. It's just a rabbit with a waistcoat and a watch.
Oh, my fearing whiskies. I'm late.
Now, this is curious. What could a rabbit possibly be late for? Please, sir!
I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late.
It must be awfully important, like a party or something. Mr. Rabbit, wait!
No. I'm overdue. I'm really in a stew. No time to say goodbye. Hello, I'm late.
My, what a peculiar place to have a party. You know, Dinah, we really shouldn't be doing this. After all, we haven't been invited, and curiosity often leads to trouble. Goodbye, Dinah. Goodbye. Well, after this, I shall think nothing of falling downstairs. Goodness. What if I should fall right through the center of Earth? And come out the other side where people walk upside down? Oh, but that's silly. Nobody... Oh! Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Wait!
my fellow Americans. Tonight, I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic.
Daniel 12:11. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,330 days.
These are all the individuals from last year doing their thing, running 100 meters and all that sort of stuff. And the American man here was incredibly fast. Incredibly.
It's quite close, isn't it?
Message? Oh, from Michelle. How very amusing. So you would like to watch it together?
Yes.
Let's have a look.
Hey, Prince Harry. Remember when you told us to bring it at the Invictus Games?
Careful what you wish for.
Boom.
Oh, really? Please.
Boom.
I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority.